you addressed the ladies as lovely, but you didn't address me as handsome.
Tom, stop being jealous.
Don't be jealous.
No, but the ladies are lovely.
Well, okay, the handsome and debonair.
And what about Jazzy Joy, the beautiful and voluptuous Jazzy Joy? We got to say that too.
Voluptuous. What kind of show is this? Okay,
keeping it real.
It's keeping it real. All right. Okay. So thank you for that, Tom. Yeah. So let's get started. I think having technical difficulties here? All right. So let's get started. Linda, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Well, I am a community resident of East Harlem. Born and raised, lived there all my life, and I'm currently working with the senior population of East Harlem.
Okay, and what is it? What exactly do you do there?
I work with the seniors closely on a day-to-day basis. I assist them with various things, such as simple things as making doctor's appointments for them, or calling downtown to NYCHA to fix certain things in their apartment that they may need. We plan birthday parties for them. We take them on trips. So we just try to be like an overall service for the seniors, as they say, for their golden years as they have left.
So it's a senior complex, apartment complex?
Actually, the one that I do work in is a senior building, yes.
So it's a senior building.
That is correct.
And you're situated in there?
In the basement.
In the basement?
Of the building, yes. Of the NYCHA building.
So you don't actually live there?
I do not.
Oh, okay. So you just go there?
I work there.
Work there every day?
And then I go home.
Oh, okay.
Tell us a little bit about the need, Linda, as you see it, for senior housing. Is the population growing so that we are in need of more senior housing, as you see it?
I would say so, yes. Seniors are living longer lives, more active lives. Just today we were at the community pool, and they opened up for senior swim. For the summer. So we have a lot of active seniors, and like I said, they're living longer lives, and currently the housing situation is not what they need it to be. It needs to be a little bit more better, because we have seniors that are living in studio apartments, and some of them don't have enough room because they need life-sustaining equipment. They need wheelchairs, they need walkers, they need some of them may need ventilators, and living in a studio apartment and also needing a home attendant that's there for maybe 8 or 10 hours a day in a very confined space seems to be a little difficult for them to maneuver around the house. So a lot of them, when they come see me, that's one of their major complaints: not enough space.
Not enough space. Wow.
Absolutely.
Okay.
How would are you getting more complaints now than before, or?
It's getting a little better. They are opening up some senior housing. We just had a building open up earlier this year, and a good handful of my seniors was able to move out of where they currently were living into at least a 1-bedroom where they have a little bit more space.
Now, how many apartments are in the residence where you work?
I believe the building is about 16 stories, and there can possibly be about maybe 10 apartments on each floor.
Wow, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
Maybe between 8 and 10 apartments on each floor.
So that's a lot.
Yeah.
So that's like 160 seniors.
So
Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah,
Pretty
that's
much
a,
so.
that's
Significant,
a lot.
yeah, definitely.
it's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot of seniors. So
But I think, and you could maybe address this. I think the need has increased with the gentrification. A lot of the older residents throughout the city are being forced out of their homes because of the increase in property values and the taxation and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times they have no place to go but to senior housing. Do you find that is happening?
yes, it definitely is. Seniors are looking to live quality lives. They just don't want to be anywhere, and they need to feel like they still count. They've given a lot of their lives. They've worked, they've earned their pensions. Some of them are being skimmed on Social Security. They're not getting their whole Social Security. So it's a lot of issues that they have that they're dealing with, in addition to being ill. Getting old, in your daily life, it's a little bit difficult. So for them having to deal with thinking about housing and, thinking about, if they're going to get food stamps next month for whatever reason, these are some of the things that they're up against.
Do you have a staff that works with you, or is it only you?
Well, I work at the Union Settlement Association. The center that I work in is one of the largest senior centers in East Harlem. Mm-hmm. But we have 3 other sister centers, but mine is the largest. And we service about 95 people a day for lunch.
Oh.
Yeah.
And the lunch is held where? In the complex?
It's inside the basement. We have a lunchroom. We have a big cafeteria where they sit and congregate on a daily basis. And we have some seniors that's really...
But why only 90? Like if you have about 160, why only 95?
Well, that's what we can serve, but we do get... It all really depends. Like I said, we do have sister centers, so they might frequent other centers. They don't necessarily have to come to ours, but that's like the basis of it. 95 people.
Is that the minimum that you guys can hold?
Yeah, our cafeteria is only but so big.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. But that's a lot. I mean, 95 is a lot.
Definitely.
Yes. Absolutely. And you serve lunch only?
We serve breakfast
and lunch. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about, Tom, and as you're talking with the homeless crisis growing, and now with public housing being under attack, it's important for us to start looking at our seniors, because those are the ones that actually, I mean, if it wasn't for our seniors, we wouldn't even be here. Come on now.
That's right.
Right? They made they're the ones that, those are the shoulders that we rely on, right? And so we are trying to see how we can get more senior housing. But my problem is I went to a rally at City Hall, and they had all these pastors rallying for senior housing. My problem is that I believe that whatever community you're from, any of the CBOs that are around there, any of the stores around there, are the ones that should invest first, are the ones that we should look forward to and look to, right, to help us with that kind of senior housing, and not CBOs that come from Brooklyn, New Jersey, developers that come from different places. We need to make sure and maintain, right, where we live, right?
Right.
Because in each district, you have a lot, and I'm talking about a lot of store owners. You have a lot of real estate people that live in there, and they should have first dibs on what happens in their district. We should look to them. We should look to them to help us out. We were talking about this. As a matter of fact, yesterday I was talking to a friend of mine that runs a senior center, and we were talking about this NORC program. Are you familiar with the NORC, Tom?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I haven't
NORC is a program, right, that is federal. And this program gives you a lot of federal dollars. They look for buildings where we can do senior housing there. Built it, and also do a senior center there for them, and they pour in a lot of money. So I was looking in. I'm going to be looking into that NORC program, because that NORC program seems to be one avenue that we need to look at, because a lot of federal dollars come through there. So I think that's something we need to talk about, because with the federal dollars not coming into public housing, we need to start looking at all the seniors that are living in public housing and see how we can get them into senior housing. Because sooner or later, and as we know, maybe sooner than later, right, the way this crisis is going with New York City Housing Authority, we're going to be more under attack even more. And I think that the seniors are, are going to be under attack real soon.
You're definitely at risk. I know as a senior person myself, right? And living on a fixed income and Social Security, it was very difficult for me to manage the finances in that expanding gentrification-driven economy. And I think that as tax base goes up, the store owners have to pay more money to keep their stores. Consequently, the prices go up. And as seniors, we have fixed incomes, and it kind of elevates out of our range. Not just the apartments, but just living in the community dynamic as a whole.
Everything.
So I think that attaching to like you said, the program with the federal monies, I think attaching to a federal program that kind of would augment some of that income. Would be very, very, very significant. That's something we really need to look into.
Actually, Councilwoman Margaret Chen is actually leading the way with this NORC program. So I will be giving her a call to see if I can have a sit down with her, and maybe even see if we can get Linda to come. Because she knows what's happening with the seniors.
Well, actually,
Union
actually has a NORC program.
See? Okay, so
we actually
tell us how that NORC program is.
What are the letters? NORK, NORC.
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 Yeah.
NORC.
Yeah.
I'll Google it. I'm gonna find out.
We have one NORC. Associated with Union Settlement. A lot of our Asian members attend the NORC program. But you're more than welcome to go there and speak with the executive director, and she can fill you in on what they do and stuff like that.
See, that's something that I really look forward to, because even though we're fighting to keep public housing, we also have to remember that we need to think about our seniors, and right now we need to get them in a safe haven, as I would call it. Because the way this is going with public housing, as a matter of fact, they text me. I don't know if you saw it, but the Post. And in the Post, Mayor de Blasio, our mayor, is stating that the money that's needed to do the repairs, the boilers, and all that for public housing, they would be better off, check this out, demolishing public housing.
See, I know that.
Or privatize. Now, that's what we're looking at.
God.
That's exactly what we're looking at.
That was the original
That's
plan.
the original plan. The same way, same when they did in Flint, the Flint thing. All right. But what I want to do is I want to take this time to say, for the listeners outside, please join the conversation. Call 646-690-2976. The number again is 646-690-2976.
Yes, we definitely would love to hear from you.
So,
if you have any questions or comments, so do call.
So you were
saying, Carmen, they were talking about.
Yes, it's in the Post.
And building what in its place?
It's in the Post.
In
other words, if they can't sell it to real estate developers,
oh my God,
they would rather demolish public housing, because what they're going to do is let it deteriorate, which they've been doing already.
Doing.
So we need to. We really need to focus on individuals, and when I say that, I mean seniors are very vulnerable at this moment right now, and I think that we need to do all we can to start moving them out of the original public housing and getting them into senior housing, because I think it would be really sad that we go homeless like this and all those seniors are left out in the street or having to go to shelters. It is going to be a massive, massive displacement. And we need to make sure that we have our finger on the pulse right now. And that that's actually why I wanted Linda to come, because she sees this every day. She's getting cases every day. And so that's only, and mind you, like she said, she has sister programs, but this isn't every program that you have that you give these services. Is that right?
Yes.
So you can imagine the need that there's, and that's only in East Harlem. We're not talking about the rest of the world, right?
Right.
So you can imagine what our seniors are placing. Our seniors not only have heart attacks when they get a letter in the mail talking about that their rents are going up or that they have to go downtown. I mean, we have to be very careful how we address our seniors. Our seniors are very delicate.
Right.
We got a lot of feisty ones, yes we do. But for me, in Douglas houses, I get a lot of calls from my seniors crying.
Mm-hmm. They get scared.
They get really scared. And this is something we have to learn how to attack. Now, every week, I'm here and I'm fighting for public housing. I'm fighting with the mayor. I'm cursing everybody out. But the reality is we need to start now trimming it down a little bit and talk about what's happening with the seniors, because nobody's doing that. And so that's why I wanted to take the time this week and say, you know what? What about our seniors and what are we going to do? And how are we going to do it? Now,
absolutely.
We do have, I was talking to Lenora Fulani, and she, we're going to try, and what I wanted to announce on the show is that we need to do a massive march. And I think this massive march is going to take a couple of months to get it together, because I think we need to lock down the streets. We really need to get people to come out, young, old, middle age, but we need to lock the street down when it comes to housing, because I'm telling you, it's coming, it's here, and with this president, we ain't gonna see nothing. We ain't gonna see nothing any better. No. I think the SNAP program is going to be attacked. I think it's next month.
Yeah, they're attacking it. We actually had gotten some. They look like postcards, and it's funny because they came from the governor's office, and on the back of this card, it says, "What does SNAP mean to you?" Now, all of my seniors, I would say 85% of them are on SNAP. So,
and then what exactly is SNAP for those who may not know?
It's the supplemental nutrition program for food for
food stamps.
Okay. So,
yeah, that's the short name. Yeah,
food stamps.
Exactly.
Okay.
So they're being, they're trying to
eliminate
the program, and this is how a lot of our seniors eat. Like the gentleman said on the phone, he's on a fixed income. Part of my job is to try to make sure that all the seniors get all their money. A lot of the seniors have a percentage taken out for their Medicare premiums because they have to pay that. So there's a program that I offer my seniors, which is called the MSP program, which actually the government will pay that portion of it so they can get all their monies. Because as you know, the fixed income, they have to spread that around for whatever they have to pay for. So basically, the monies that they do, the gentleman said the fixed income is very, very difficult to multiply that when you can't multiply it. You have to put it in so many places, and it's very, very difficult. So every dollar counts. So taking away the SNAP program would be detrimental to not just our seniors, to everybody.
Devastating.
Yes.
Another thing that that I wanted to touch base with you about is the SCREE program. Is that SCREE program still working? Are seniors still getting them?
We do have some seniors that come in asking about the SCREE program. We refer them out because we don't actually do it in my office, but we do have a contact in Harlem that actually helps with the program. Yes, DREE and SCREE.
Could you tell us which one is what is SCREE and what is DREE?
I believe SCREE is a program that assists with rents. To freeze your rent, so if you're on a fixed income, it'll make it easy for you to pay your rent. And the DREE is the same type of program, but it's for disabled individuals.
Oh, okay.
So see, there's so many things that a lot of people don't know that are out there, on fixed incomes.
Right.
And if you notice, we are seeing more each day. Children taking care of their parents and their grandparents. So when someone is working and then has to depend on someone else to do that, it's very difficult. Because then you have to make sure you're staying on top of when you have to file for SCREE, when you have to do recertification. All these things are very detrimental. And once you miss one, it's over. You have to start all over again. And so these are the things that we need to be talking about. And these are practically all the things that they want to cut. Our president needs to know that, what he's doing is,
Not good.
I'm going to be nice.
Not good.
I'm going to be nice, Tom. But what he's
it's gonna
doing
be
is
nice.
detrimental to the well-being of the seniors. And mentally, it can really cause a lot of deaths. On seniors, because seniors get scared very easily these days.
I think
because everything is happening so fast. Yes, Linda.
I think in NYCHA, everything is very general because the population is so mixed.
Right.
You have young families, you have middle-aged families, and then you have seniors. So when they send out a letter, basically that letter is addressed to everybody.
Yeah.
So just
And it's
like
horrible.
right now, they're in the stage where they're doing their recertifications for their housing.
Uh-huh.
So when they see a date on there and they're not able to get it done because you have to do it by a computer
They bug out.
and they have no knowledge,
Right.
they get panicked. So they're looking all over the city to find out who's going to be able to assist them with it, because it's not just a booklet anymore. It's actual. You have to go sit
Go
on a computer.
online.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the letters that they're getting, sometimes they get a little concerned with because they're like, oh my God.
They're
gonna-
very threatening. They're very threatening because I constantly had to go to management with my seniors about these letters. Actually, when we meet for the RAB meetings, where all 49 presidents from each development, we get together with New York City Housing Authority. We have addressed those letters and what those letters caused. And right now, we're actually fighting the smoking law, which a lot of people are very afraid that if they're found smoking in their apartment, their folders will be going downtown, and they feel that they're going to be thrown out. So these are little things that they say is not going to happen, but that's bullshit. We all know that's bullshit.
Right.
We know that they're going to look for
Intimidation,
any little damn
they use
thing.
Intimidation so
That's right.
rapidly.
Exactly.
and
Their thing is.
Residents don't know, especially seniors. They're not fully versed on what their rights are and how to process.
Exactly.
So you can't just send somebody a letter and threaten them like that. There's
Right.
a whole due process that they're entitled to. So people need to
Tom,
they need
these-
to be versed on that.
Yeah,
Right.
and Tom, these are things that we need to get out there and talk about. These are real things that are
Exactly.
happening, and we need to let the seniors know that we're here, we're listening, we're
Right.
fighting, and we are going to be asking people to come out to a massive march.
Right.
We
Yeah.
want to come out at least 1,000 strong. Listen, there's 400,000 people in public housing alone. 400,000. Let me tell you something. If all of them registered to vote, we can have our own line. It don't have to be a Democratic line, no line. Honey, let me tell you something. It'll just be renters line. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
But we can change this city. We can change this country with 400,000 votes. Because if we really look at it, and I've done the numbers, I've crunched the numbers, and public housing is like the lowest population that comes out to vote. 10%.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's
Very
horrible.
low, yeah.
This is horrible.
That's why they get the lowest service.
That is
Yes.
not only that. That is why a lot of the elected officials take developers' money. And we had the senator. He
Right,
said
the
it. He
senator,
said
he
it.
said
The
it.
senator said it here.
Right
He
here
said,
on the
"Man,
show, he said it.
our consultants, they look at the numbers.
Right.
You can't fault them. You can't fault them. These
right.
people don't want to come out. I understand that a lot of people say, oh, well, I'm not voting because this and this and that. I don't believe in the vote. But let me tell you something, sweetie. Y'all better get it together. Because you don't vote, that is why we are where we are today.
Absolutely. You don't vote, you can't complain.
Absolutely.
So,
a no vote is a vote for your opponent.
Exactly.
A no vote is actually a vote for the opposition.
Absolutely.
Right.
But I'm really concerned. And I'm quite sure the mayor is probably listening, right? Just like I,
Right.
just like I know,
Yeah.
just like I know New York City Housing Authority is listening. Well, listen to this. You guys need to cut your shit out because what you're doing is criminal, and even though most of y'all should be in jail. And I'm going to continue to push for that investigation. Y'all need to go to jail. 820 children are now lead infested for the rest of their lives. Their lives will never be the same.
Yes.
And if it were I, Joyce, you, Tom, or Linda, we would be under the jail. So guess what?
That's right.
Scott Stringer was on New York One talking about he's going to do an investigation. Scott Stringer, you did a goddamn investigation. How many times you want to fucking investigate? Y'all know this shit is criminal. Do what the hell you got to do already. People need to go to jail. This is a crime. Right. How dare you?
Are they investigating Scott about some stuff? I thought I heard some stuff about him being investigated. I'm not sure.
He probably is investigated. He's a piece of shit anyway. Anyway, y'all, I promised to be good today. I was promising to be good today. But these people really get on my grill because it's a shame that the cover up is so deep, Tom. And I'm talking to all the viewers out there. You guys need to step up. Our children are being attacked. Our seniors are being attacked. We as people that have fought for hundreds of years for our rights. Martin Luther King died for our rights. I mean, we've been fighting for so many years. How dare us just sit back and let these people get away with what they're getting away with? It is not right. People need to step up. And I'm actually really talking to all the elected officials. Y'all need to do what's right. Y'all know what y'all need. Y'all know what y'all need to do. And another thing I said in the last show, I would want the city council to have hearings in Spanish. Because my Puerto Rican, Latino people, Dominican people, Mexican people, whatever way you Latinos want to know what's going on. Right. You guys do the city council hearings at City Hall and you exclude the Spanish population. I want them done in Spanish. And if you have to do them in Asian, you need to do it all. But the Spanish people, and I'm talking for my people, we need to do these city council hearings that are happening in public housing so that our Spanish population knows how to defend themselves. So I'm going to shoot it back to you, Joyce, because when I get started, it's over.
That's why we have you as a co-host.
Absolutely.
You're on point. You're on point.
Right.
So
it's just a shame.
These things are crucial things.
It's just a shame. It's really a shame. What do you think about 820 kids having lead?
It's disgraceful.
Linda?
It's disgraceful, and I have two grandsons. So I'm very empathetic to what these families are going through. I mean, growing up in city housing myself, being a product of city housing, I don't think I turned out too bad. I got away with not getting lead poison, thank goodness. But at the end of the day, these are all of our children.
Right.
I have friends and family that live in public housing, and any one of them at any given time could be affected. So
I grew up in public housing.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So people need to go to jail. Scott Stringer, investigate what? You already know what happened. Don't. Let's not go there. That's why y'all don't like.
It's just about doing the right thing. That's it.
Exactly.
It's about doing the right thing.
It really is, and and again, I'm not trying to start no trouble here. I got 19 grandkids. I got to look out for the kids.
Absolutely.
And these people, a lot of them are my friends, are people that I represent, and I would be less than to sit on this show and act like nothing's going on when y'all all know y'all ain't y'all just so crooked. It's pathetic. It's sad. People confided in y'all. They came out there, gave you their vote, and y'all guys are not doing your job. Friendship is friendship, but you know what? Loyalty is loyalty, and you're supposed to be loyal to the people that put y'all in office.
Right.
Okay? Not to the real estate developers and everybody else. I understand you got to get your chump change. But do that. Get chump change. Don't sell people out. It's just right. Right now, y'all sold 820 kids, and only God knows if that's really the number.
Absolutely.
Right? Because we really don't know if that's the damn number. Because if you ask me, I think there's more than 1,000, more than 2,000, maybe more than 3,000. But y'all are some. Y'all are some. Y'all are murderers, man.
Now, I know, Linda, you said one of the biggest challenges is space. I mean, that they complain, the seniors, not having enough space. Any other challenges, that you find that really
stand out?
Something that stands out from the seniors?
They get threatened a lot with, having, like, a lot of my seniors have family members that would like to take care of them. But because they live in a senior building, it's not really allowed for them to live there. So that's kind of difficult themselves. They can't maybe afford to get a home attendant for whatever reason. They might have too much income. Because some people work their whole lives and may have had a spouse that also works, so their income is a little higher than others. So they have an issue about having, proper care. So that's a little bit challenging for them as well, because they don't trust everybody in their homes. They're very leery about who comes in and out of their homes. And a lot of them have had bad experiences with, caregivers for whatever reason, so they don't trust very well. So they would rather have a family member come take care of them.
And that is a new law that you can have your
family
member take care of you. Yeah. So it should be done. Maybe there's some type of legislation.
We've done that for generations. As a culture, we do that. That's something we do.
We should. I'm sorry, Tom. Go ahead, honey.
No. I was just saying, as a culture, that's something we tend to do.
Yeah.
Take care of each other.
Take care of our
really do.
Seniors, our aging family members. Yes.
Maybe we need to look into the laws once these senior housings are done, because to really just say, well, because you're in senior housing, you can't get a home attendant, or because you're in senior housing, you can't have a family member look after you. I don't think that's fair.
No.
I mean, what's going to happen with your mom, your dad, your grandma? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think they should make some type of...
We need to look into maybe, Linda, maybe we can get together, write up something and put it to the city council and let them do some type of legislation for senior housings that are up and running now, and that can maybe do some type of law where a family member has a right to live with them and take care of them. I think it's only right. I mean, your mother took care of you, your grandmother took care of you. Why shouldn't you be taking care of them?
But because of the space thing,
and the space
it's not feasible for them to be there.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah,
so
it makes it even more difficult because how
Wow.
can you have anybody else living in there?
And you could barely fit in there yourself with all your wheelchair, your walker, and whatever else you need.
So we really have to do something about the space first.
Yeah.
And then...
Don't you think that's like a plan to put them in these little spaces where they
so
can't...
that no one else
can because let me tell you something. A lot of seniors, most seniors don't have anyone. And sometimes when they pass along, the state takes everything, right? So that might be.
Well, I would hate to think that
but
that's
it's the
the
truth.
case. I mean, it happens, but I would hate to think that that would be the case.
But it's the
because-
truth. In public housing, we've run into that a lot.
Yeah.
Where they don't have anyone, they don't let
They
no
just
one
might
into
have
their
smaller
apartment.
spaces because they don't want anyone else to live there.
Right.
Yeah. Well, if that's the case, they should have maybe the option then to transfer to a bigger apartment if they're doctors, they're
Right.
social workers. State that you know what they need someone to take care of them.
Right. Then they should have.
You know, because a lot of them, like you said,
Yeah.
have
Well, I think
different equipment.
that's another part of nature that probably would need to be worked on, that transfer, because
Shit, that's a long
that
list.
that's a long, very long process.
That's a
We
long
have
list.
I have one senior right now that's been waiting 2 years to get a transfer,
They shouldn't even have
and that's
studios in the
unacceptable.
first
Yeah,
place.
it's
I mean, if they're really small, they shouldn't really have studios. At least one bedroom.
at least a 1 bedroom. So
I
they can
think
move
one
around.
bedroom, yeah.
Yeah.
Because the seniors, I always thought studios were like for guys,
A single
like
person.
young
A single person,
people,
right?
yeah.
But I mean, I don't think
to put
it
a
should be
senior-
for elders. I think an
No.
elder should have a room because of the fact, a 1 bedroom, because of the fact that some of them need so much equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
So it's only right. I mean, shoot, I have equipment, and I'm not. Well, I'm
The
going
place
on
is
a
gonna
senior,
be like
yeah,
really
but I'm there.
cluttered up with
But
a
at
lot
the end of the
stuff.
day, why should we have to wait for you to become 65 for this to be in place?
Right.
Hopefully, by the time you get there, you'll be all right. You won't have to deal with it.
Exactly.
But there's a lot of them that are so fragile right now, and they have to deal with this on a daily basis.
And that's the sad part, to dedicate your life to this country,
and
to
we
be
just
harassed.
push them aside. Like,
Yeah.
we don't value our elders here in this
Absolutely.
country as they do in many other countries.
Mm-hmm.
We just say, okay, we have no more use for you, cast you aside. Yeah.
And I think
Yeah,
that's why.
I think that's what they encourage us to do. But I think as a culture, we kind of like resist that.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, that's true.
My parents took care of my grandparents. My parents took care of my mother took care of my grandmother. I took care of my mother until she passed, and hopefully my kids will take care of me.
Hey, I hear you.
Mm-hmm.
I hear you, and that's how it's
And
supposed
I
to
think
be.
You should be so
that's
lucky, yeah.
ingrained in us culturally. But I think, generally speaking, Joyce, the way with Jazzy, as you say, the society tends to promote that kind of dynamic that you're talking about.
Well, I mean, they don't really make provisions
Right.
in terms of like showing any care for the elderly. They don't make it easier
They
for
make
them
it
to
hard.
get around, or it's just not.
They make it hard. I mean, you
it's
got
just not
that.
elder friendly in this city. Yeah,
You got that accessoride. That's a
yeah,
trip.
yeah,
The service,
they
yeah.
You have
that.
the ambulance services that are a trip. People miss their appointments with these things.
Yeah.
So
that's
everything is always hard for seniors. A lot of them get frustrated just waiting for them to come pick them up.
And even to piggyback on that, even waiting, like when I have to call to submit tickets for their apartment when they need repairs, they have to wait just like everybody else. And I think that when it comes to seniors, they should have some type of special privilege.
I think so too.
You understand?
Yes.
And they
Yeah.
don't. And they definitely
That's what
don't.
I'm saying. That you wait like everybody. No, that's not.
And that's what I think we need to put a couple of things to the city council, because public housing is city, and maybe even on the federal level, see what kind of legislation that can be put. And I guess it's talking to the right people, like our Congress and our city council people, our state senators and stuff like that, and put it in writing and ask them to push it. And when they don't push it, tell them off. You know what I'm saying, right? But seriously, we need to do that. We need to do that because this is going to start taking its toll quicker than we really realize. Because from what is going to happen to a lot of public housing, seniors are going to be more vulnerable than ever, especially seniors that don't have anyone. And that's where the concern comes in. Not that all of them don't matter, but people that don't have nobody, people that don't speak English, that all they have is their home attendants, and this is everywhere, and it's sad, and we have to address it now. The same way we're addressing, the lead work for our children. Well, guess what? When you become a certain amount of seniors, sometimes they get Alzheimer's, they get everything else, and they go back to childhood. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we need to be there. We need to protect them. Also, they need protecting. I'm gonna be a senior one day too. Not. I hope not too soon, but soon enough, right? But I would like these things into place for when I become that age, that these things are already placed. And I won't have to worry about, moving into a box, and my funds taken away and denied food stamps because I'm $1 over. Because for $1 over, they won't give it to you. It's crazy. I've seen it happen over and over again. Because you make a little bit, $1 over. You cannot get it.
It just makes you feel like they don't want us to succeed in anything. You just have to just barely get by. And it seems like that's just across the board. Like if you have extra, you don't fit in this category because you're, like you said, you have $1 more or $5 more, whatever the case may be. You can't have like extra. Why?
You can't.
But that's what I'm seeing about with so-called affordable housing. Either sometimes you don't make enough or you make too much.
Well, I think that word needs to be redefined.
They redefine.
Redefine.
Yeah.
For whom?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
But see, that's why I emphasize it a lot, especially in the show, when we talk about affordable and low income. And we're low income people. Because you don't let us go anywhere else, right? But low income is what we need to be working on, not affordable housing. Affordable housing is not for people like us.
Right.
Right? And so, I don't care how many jobs you got. To be affordable, you need to have 2 or 3 jobs.
Yeah.
2 or 3 jobs, and God forbid you have more than 2 children.
Oh, yeah.
You're just not gonna make it anywhere. It's hard enough with 1 child. Imagine 2, 3, 4. Like my girls, shoot, both my girls got 7. So you can imagine a piece.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So it's extra hard. What if I'm not around? What if I can't protect them? And there's so much that I can do. As a parent. Right? Because I'm on a fixed income too. Hello. So this is everywhere. It's all over the place. But we really need to start talking about community involvement in what happens with senior housing and public housing.
Yes.
And we need to address our city council people, our Congress, Senate, and Assembly. We need to do that. And for us to define some kind of legislation that can help, then we need to start doing that. And again, I'm just hoping that this is a myth about demolishing or abolishing,
because
public housing.
Serious.
But that's something Tom and you and I know as old timers. This has been a long time planned to do.
Especially where the housing developments on prime real estate.
Right, prime real estate.
And that's so many of them now.
Well, they want it. They want it so bad. They
want that land. They want that real estate.
Excuse me. They don't give a damn what they got to do to get it. And they doing
care.
it now. They doing it now. East Harlem has been sold out so bad it's pathetic. And let me tell you something. I was born and raised up in East Harlem, and I tell you, I've seen so much gentrification up there. Some of it is okay, but everywhere you go, Same stuff.
Yeah, and
They
I
don't
like,
sold.
I'm
It's not
older
even
than
El
you,
Barrio anymore.
I used to hang out in Harlem back in the '60s.
Yeah.
And I have seen the transformation is absolutely insidious.
It is. It really is.
It's like, wow. No, I mean, and it's not. It would be one thing. It was just about community improvement, structural improvement, but it's about economic displacement.
That's what it is. Exactly.
That's what it boils down to. And then that you got a whole new dynamic, community dynamic. People that people for different cultures that are becoming prominent, moving out the people who built it, who sustained it for so long, and who have a right to be there.
Yeah, so it's happening all
that's
over
not just
in all
happening
the
in Harlem.
5 boroughs.
That's happening in Williamsburg, Bed-Stuy. It's happening in Brownsville now.
It's
Happening
everywhere.
in Queens.
Even
It's
in
happening all over
Corona,
the city.
Queens,
The Bronx,
where I
South
live,
Bronx.
$2,500 for 2 bedrooms.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
Literally crazy.
and $1,800.
So, Linda,
one.
what would you like to tell the city council to help the seniors? What, if anything, you can tell them